if I bleed tonight, if I am sad tonight, I don't have a job to find. And if I work tonight, if I'm so tired. Gentlemen, start your engine!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 24 of the Lugs podcast. I'm your host, AJ. With me, as always, is my co-host, Ryan.
Yeah, what's going on, AJ? I have to say it. Congratulations to your Bruins.
Yeah, baby.
As much as it pains me to say they played a great game last night. It was a good game 7. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it. I was cheering for the Leafs, obviously, but congratulations to Boston. Yeah, they played a great game. It's going to be a good series, though, against Tampa Bay. Steve Yzerman's Tampa Bay Lightning.
And I will be there for Game 1, Saturday, 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern at Amalie Arena. Can't wait. First playoff game I am going to
enjoy that.
Ever for any sport, let alone the Stanley Cup playoffs. And I am stoked. I could not be any more excited.
How high are you sitting, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, it's easy for you to picture where I am. Back wall, upper deck.
You're at the. Oh man, you're at the. I don't think Sarah and I would join you on that one because she doesn't like heights, and I love heights. But when we went to our hockey game, we went to against the Canadians. We got lower ball, and we paid a decent price for them, but nothing too serious.
You'll never guess what the ticket prices were.
Face value.
$100.
That's not bad at all.
For a playoff hockey game.
$100 that's not bad. If that was like Toronto or even in Boston, the tickets would be outrageous.
I couldn't believe
Through
it.
the roof.
As soon as I saw it this morning at that price, I had to jump on it.
Oh, yeah. How many tickets did you get?
I got one. Adam's going with me.
Nice.
He's a Lightning fan. He's a big Lightning fan, so.
Oh, boy. I think you may be one of the few Boston fans in that arena on Saturday.
You know what? And you see that towel back there?
Yeah, that towel will be with you.
It will be with me. And I'll be the only yellow flag waving person there, and I'm totally good with it.
Oh, I don't blame you. I'd be too. Next year, Sarah and I are talking about maybe going to Nashville, Columbus, maybe even Pittsburgh for an Oilers game to check that out. I'd be wearing my McDavid jersey, of course.
Oh, even though you're a Red Wing fan now.
I like both teams, 1A, 1B.
Yeah.
Eastern Western Conference. So, hey, AJ, I got to tell you something. So, over the weekend, we're watching the race. Since the race was Saturday night, after the race, Sarah's like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, why don't we go to the ball game Sunday? So I look on Vivid Seats, and I found tickets outfield like $15. So Sarah and I went to the ball game on Sunday, sat in the sun. Somebody forgot her sunscreen and got burnt, and now she's giving me the bird right now.
Ouch.
Yeah. So we had a good time though. We enjoyed ourselves. Had a great time at the ball game, and just enjoyed it. After that, afterwards, went to the casino. Came out even. Woohoo!
Yeah. You know, Tony just said he went to the Red Wing Sharks round 2 for free from a radio contest.
Yeah, I remember that.
That has to. I've never been, but from the way it seems on TV, there is no better playoff event to be at.
I've been to a couple minor league playoff games, and even though it's like the OHL, and then when the Detroit Vipers were a team, I went to a couple games there, and the atmosphere was great. And then ALCS game for the Tigers back in, I think it was 2008. It was against Texas. I do remember that.
Yeah, Tony was just saying playoff hockey is way different in our
yeah.
here. You know, Tony, you're a Leafs fan, so it's kind of bittersweet that we had to be the ones that took you out, but it's got to be done. And like I said to you guys on after Game 6, I said it. Now it's time to put Cinderella to death. But
yeah, it was a good series. It was an entertaining series. So far, the both NBA and NHL playoff first rounds have been phenomenal. How about LeBron last night? Game-winning shot. King me.
Didn't even know it happened.
I did. That's why I said something.
The worst part about the playoffs this year for hockey is...
What's that?
Games 1 and 2. I think we had a combined, 11... It was like 11-5.
Something like that.
Goals, for and against. And Freddie Anderson couldn't stop a beach ball. And I was like, oh, it's going to be a long series for the Maple Leafs. Then Game 3, they get the win on home ice. Game 4, the Bruins bounce back. You're leading 3-1 going back home for Game 5.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you need to put it away. Rask dropped an egg.
Give credit to Freddie Anderson. That boy stood on his head to get the Leafs remotely close to the 7.
If Freddie Anderson doesn't stand on his head for 5 of those games, no way we're here. Talking about a Game 7 that happened last night. And I mean, I know this first 10 minutes, it seems, has been nothing but hockey talk. We'll get into the NASCAR talk later. But I thought after Game 5, I didn't have any confidence in the Bruins.
Oh, yeah.
And then, thoughts and prayers go out to those affected in the Toronto tragedy.
Yes. And thoughts and prayers to you all.
And I had told Tony, I go, well, this is all the Bruins needed. Something, against them. We had the Boston bombings back in 2013 that provided that motivation. And now it's the Leafs' turn to get that. So even then, I wasn't liking our chances.
Tony just said something funny in the live chat. Hey, we fought. We just decided to leave the game behind in the third and blank Jake Gardner. Man, he took
he was crying in his post-game interview. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah. Well, he took on the game winning goal. He took a wrong turn, which enabled the Boston player. I forgot who it was.
Jake DeBrusk.
DeBrusk. Thank you. To get by, if he doesn't take that wrong turn, if he still plays at angles like he has, who knows? It might have been different. But I thought Freddie should have stopped. Oh yeah, you need to, or GPS.
Make the next possible U-turn.
So I seen in your little show sheet, you're talking about another event that's happening here tonight.
Yeah, tonight's the NFL draft. If you're, naturally listening to this later on Podbean, iTunes, Sittcher, it's not going to be that, but we got the draft tonight. Pretty exciting day. Usually the first day of the draft, first round, big.
Especially with the Patriots. Patriots having 2 picks in the first round.
Funny thing about that, this is the first time I was reading this since 2015 that we've had a first round pick.
Lions are used to it.
So I was going to ask you, who do you want to see the Lions take? Not by name specifically, just what position do you want?
What position? Defensive back, whether it be corner. I want a cornerback. That's what I want. I want a cornerback. We got a good one in Slade. Lawson and the other kid they got. We need to go out there. We need to get a defensive back. I'd like to get another running back as well later on. Obviously, work on the defensive side of the football. That's what Patricia's known for.
Tony just said in our chat.
No, Tony, I want defensive back. Sorry, buddy. I mean, Amir Abdullah is as good as gone. Yes, get a running back later.
Yeah, the Lions are at a weird point, and they've been at this weird point for years, as you know. It's
try to be a Lions fan.
It's not that they don't have good players; they just can't execute worth a what.
A damn.
Yeah, well, you can go with a damn.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seems every time they come close to a playoff chance or a big win, they choke it away.
Yes, they do. Put it this way, since we are a NASCAR podcast here, they don't have the lugs tightened on the car.
Yeah, they have about Chase Elliott's luck when it comes to
they could have that too, yes. Oh, Tony, sounds like a hockey team I follow.
I mean, I really hope Jake Gardner signs an extension with the Maple Leafs, going back to that. We're talking about the draft. I hope the Patriots don't trade up to get Lamar Jackson. I think you might be able to find him late second round, third round, even. You
could, yeah. I'm surprised they're not going after Darnold or any of the other two kids up there. Mayfield, anybody.
Listen.
Rumor is that Mayfield's going number 1 to Cleveland.
I don't believe that. Now,
I'd rather see Cleveland. If I'm a Browns fan, I'm taking Barkley number 1. Kaiser. Let the kid see what he can do.
Now, with New England,
or even trade the pick.
You pick Brady at pick 199 in 2000. We all know that story. So go in the late rounds and get yourself a quarterback. Sign a free agent like a Johnny Manziel or something to be third string or backup. While you have this new draft pick, learn the system. Use these first 5 picks and you have in the top 95 to get your defense taken care of and your offense taken care of, and especially offensive and defensive line and linebacker position.
Exactly. I mean, you guys are going to be set. You still got Brady, so you guys will be all right.
Yeah, and it's been a hectic couple weeks for New England football.
Mm-hmm.
Being Gronk the dinkus that he is.
What was that you were saying in the chat a couple of days ago? What did you say about Gronk?
That he came out and had a conversation with Belichick, and he's coming back for 2018. And I have a funny feeling that Belichick
somebody on the radio show. Mm-hmm.
Well, I have a funny feeling Belichick sat him down and said, "Listen, either cut the crap or we're sending you elsewhere, and we're not going to send you somewhere you want to be."
Hey, Detroit's a perfect fit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
So earlier on in the week, and this is dragging on a little bit too long now, but we'll continue with it. Earlier on in the week, I listened to a Boston radio show, and a guy calls in saying that he has a source saying that Rob Gronkowski is going to be traded to the Detroit Lions, 100% guarantee. I just want to know what he's smoking. I wish there could be a drug test for that caller.
I was when you sent that, I was laughing hysterical. I'm at work and saw that. Everybody's like, "What are you laughing at?" I'm like, people are thinking that Gronk is going to be a Detroit Lion. People at work start busting out laughing, and good old time at work, that's for sure.
I was talking to a guy down in Waterbury, and he said that he knows a guy who works for the New England Patriots and says that Gronk is gone next year.
I was talking to the guy at the local Dunkin' Donuts. He said, "Man, that Gronk, he's more likely to be, yeah, he's going to become a Detroit Lion."
Oh
man.
Ryan, we've been talking football.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say it.
Let's get into some Tyra. We had a busy weekend in Richmond, and we need to unfold that and get to some big news later on.
Yes, we do. And my Ryan's rant.
So let's get it going. Tie her up. Let's finally get into some NASCAR talk.
All right.
Left side. Pull this lever better out. Left side.
So we had both series this weekend at Richmond International Speedway. Raceway.
I almost had to correct you there.
Starting off Friday night, we had the Xfinity Series. Christopher Bell gets his first Xfinity Series win of the season. And
who called it?
You called it. And you know what? My Hemrick pick was looking good there for a little bit.
It was. It really was.
And then, I have it later on in here, but late race issues caused that to be a problem. The big thing with this win and for Bell, he led 120 laps at 250, almost half the race. I mean, that car was dominant from start of the green flag to the checkered flag.
Dialed in, man. What can you say, man? Great car. Yeah, it is. It is. And I've noticed that, too, about some of these races that these leaders are winning in both series. They go out and they lead a ton of laps. They're not just leading, like that late race pass or that gamble to stay out on tires to win, like Newman last year at Phoenix. It's been, you're going out there and you're kicking the tires off the field.
Yeah. The worst part about, this win for Bell is that it came so late. in this season. And late, I know we're early on in the season, but a couple of these races he should have won.
Oh, of course.
And just, late race issues, whether it be on pit road or
Pit gun.
contact with another car, has just hurt it for him. So now that he's found victory lane, I'm going to say like a Kyle Busch situation. I think the wins are just going to keep coming now. Now he's hit that stride. He's going to keep it going.
Going to be tricky this weekend in Talladega. I think there's some Cup stars in this field this weekend at Dega, or is this another Dash for Cash race?
I'm not too sure if it's a Dash for Cash race. I know that we're having our first drivers-only broadcast of the year.
I'm excited for that.
And especially at Talladega, I think it's going to be
Yeah.
awesome.
I'm sorry you're going to the hockey game. I get to enjoy drivers only. So
Don't tell me anything that happens in the race. I will be DVRing it. But
okay.
like I said, when you get that chance to go to a playoff hockey game, and especially
You take the playoff
hockey, I got to take it.
Mhm.
To be honest
Of
with
course.
you, I missed both races this weekend due to playoff hockey.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So I had to go back and rewatch them Monday.
Yeah, and then, like I said, it's Thursday right now. I hardly remember what happened during the Xfinity race, and
Yeah,
I know Belt won. I mean, from the majority of it, what I saw, it was good side by side racing. I mean, good short track racing. That's all we ask for.
Tony in the chat, my pick lost. Wait, I don't get to pick.
Patrick, right here. Yeah, I think it is a Dash for Cash race. 0 Cup drivers at Talladega.
And how awesome is that?
I love it.
We're finally having a restrictor plate track race that we're not going to have any Cup guys in it. So you can't just pick like a Joey Logano to win this thing. This is the way the Xfinity Series needs to be.
It needs to be like that every week. You've got drivers out there that you can fill the full field for these Xfinity races.
Oh, no doubt.
You don't need Cup guys in them every week.
No doubt.
And I like it. Oh, exactly.
The thing of this whole, and I'm trying to see now if this is for sure a no Cup driver race. And from what I see, there is no Cup drivers in the field. So.
Oh, nice. I got my pick. I know we do that later, but I already got my pick.
I've got mine too, but if you notice when I sent you the pictures of the show sheet, I covered my picks with a pen.
That you did. I seen that. Damn.
But the nice thing is now you get to see who actually has the best stuff, and it's not just the driver in the car, So, continuing on with this weekend's Dash for Cash race that just happened, Elliott Sadler was the Dash for Cash winner, and I thought Elliott Sadler had a chance to win this race at one point.
Yes, you do. Elliott had a great call, or a great race, I should say. Excuse me. Jeff is trying to join the live chat or the group chat and the live chat, so to speak, how Tony did it. So I'm trying to text him while talking about the race and everything. But no, like I said, Sadler said something funny in the interview. They asked him what he's going to do with the cash, and he's like, "Oh, the wife already spent it."
Yeah. And I was listening to Elliott Sadler's interview. I think it was with Hermie Sadler after the race, and they were just talking like two brothers. You know how long I've been trying to win at this track. I've always wanted to win here, and
being from the area too, isn't he? Yeah, he's from Virginia.
So all in all, Ryan, this race had great battles all around the track. We had a couple stages there and 3 wide at the line.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So the racing on track this weekend was great. It wasn't a short track weekend where you got a lot of wrecks. So it wasn't for the fans who like wrecks, really. Restarts.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say restarts were fun as hell to watch.
Oh, restarts were great. Speaking of restarts, a buddy of mine, my buddy Ryan, who's a big Matt fan, which I know we're going to obviously dive into that a little bit later. I know he's ecstatic for that. I know there's a lot of other people out there that are ecstatic about that. But he actually went to Richmond this weekend, and it was his first time going to Richmond. He sent me a message, a couple videos. Definitely looks like worth going to for a short track if you like short track racing. I mean, he's like, there was not a bad seat in the house. Friday seat, he was just a little bit past the start-finish line. Looked like about 20 rows up. And the Sunday race, he was almost all the way up at the top heading into turn one.
Wow. You know, speaking of people going to tracks, Jeff actually sent us a text message saying he's going to be at Kansas Speedway tomorrow. So that's pretty
That'd be pretty sweet. Heck yeah.
I mean, they'll be
Get
there
lots of pictures.
week after Talladega?
Yeah, the week after Dega.
After Dega?
I do believe so.
So, yeah, Richmond's one of the bucket list tracks of mine. You know, all the short tracks on the schedule are on my bucket list.
I still got Martinsville, Richmond, the two restrictor plate tracks, and then go back to Bristol again.
Well, you said you had a good time in Bristol.
Oh, Jeff was there. He can vouch for it. My brother Scott was there. We can all vouch for it. Awesome time.
Yeah, there's nothing better than a short track Saturday night.
And you know what the best part about it too was? We had a Waffle House next to the hotel and a Taco Bell. You cannot beat that.
You had some side dishes there, didn't you?
No, we had plenty of side dishes there with our frozen waffles.
Duh.
There we go again with that damn waffle talk again.
So,
all right,
wow.
top 10. Let's hear it.
So I was gonna say, you know, adding on to the whole, there wasn't really that much wrecking going on, race cars this weekend. Our first real incident of this race came with 86 to go.
Yes.
I mean, it's
same within the Cup race on Sunday. Not until the final 100 laps.
I think we had 2 wrecks on Sunday that were caused due to, you know, multiple cars.
Yep.
So this race, like I was saying, wasn't for the fans that just watch it for the wrecks, which is quite okay because the product that they put on track racing-wise made up for that side of it. This was some great racing to watch here in this Xfinity race. Speaking of which, great day for Noah Gragson, finishing second in his Xfinity Series debut.
I thought he was in the lead, and Bell made the pass. I thought Gragson was going to catch him. Like we said earlier, Bell had that pony dialed in, so to speak.
Oh yeah. When Bell passed. On the restart, he passed Sadler, or was it?
Yeah, I think so.
At that point, you're not getting it back from him because that car was hooked on rails all day long. All night long. We had a rough day for Daniel Hemrick, as we were talking about.
Yes, we did.
He eventually had some problems. I think it was with a tire, or it was with his suspension, or something or other. Ends up in the wall. He ended up finishing, I believe, like 30th in this race.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I remember seeing that, too.
29th, officially, is where he finished. I was trying to wait for you. It looked like you froze for a second.
No, I'm trying to charge my phone. I got a wireless charger right now because my phone has something in where the charge port goes, and dealing with that, and then looking in the chat right there, Patrick says he thinks it's yeah, I know, I already said that. Yeah, that's right.
You already talked about that.
Yeah, and then Tony said he's going to watch the draft. Thanks, Tony.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Tony. Have fun with the draft. I'll periodically be saying things about the draft through this episode.
We didn't have any.
I apologize.
We don't have any. Yeah, we don't have any side dishes, so Tony left.
So let's get down into some stage winners. Your first stage was Daniel Hemrick. Second stage, Elliott Sadler. And your eventual race winner was Christopher Bell. Top 5 of the race, Christopher Bell, Noah Gragson, Elliott Sadler, Matt Tiff, and Austin Cindric. Your standings following Richmond, Elliott Sadler, Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick, Daniel Hemrick, Justin Allgaier, Cole Custer, Ryan Truex, Spencer Gallagher, Brandon Jones, Matt Tiff, Ryan Reed, and Ross Chastain, rounding out the top 12.
That's the kid I'm looking for something out of this weekend is Custer.
You know, we're going to a track where Fords have been pretty dominant.
Yes, they have.
On the Cup side of it. You know, 9 times out of 10, it's a JRM car up front at the end of these plate races for the Xfinity Series. And I think it just goes to show how well they do with how they set up their restrictor plate cars as a team, which which is something Junior was always good at that everybody already knows. I think it just benefits them that much more when they come to places like Talladega and Daytona.
Exactly. But yeah, like, you know what I loved most about this race too is when you said the stage winners. 3 different stage winners.
Yeah, not something we had on the Cup side.
No. Well, yeah, Logano won 2, and then, yeah, Kyle won the race.
So
I mean, that's different.
Notable finishers here, Ryan. 13th, John Hunter Nemechek. I don't know why I did this backwards. 12th, Jeb Burton. Solid solid.
Yes, it was.
Jeb Burton boy.
That's Ward's kid.
Yeah, sure is. 29th, as we said, was Daniel Hemrick. And your next race, like we were stating, it's the drivers only broadcast. Talladega, 3 p.m. Eastern on Fox Saturday.
I think it's Harvick, Boyer, Logano that are in the booth calling the race.
And when Boyer calls a race, you just got to sit and listen.
Yes, you do. That's what they were talking, because they were talking about that after the race on Friday night, because Harvick was in the booth then, and they're like, yeah, I see you're gonna be calling the race, this, that, and the other thing, and they're like, yeah, but you got to watch out for that Boyer fella, and I'm like, oh boy. And I think it's Stenhouse is in the Hollywood Hotel, and there's him and Hamlin, I think, something like that.
When they did it at Pocono, it was one of the best things I've seen them do for an Xfinity race.
Because Keselowski, and I remember that too, because Keselowski won the race. Ryan Blaney interviewed him, and then the next day Blaney goes out, wins the Pocono race. Keselowski interviewed him in victory lane. I thought that was so cool how they've reversed the roles like that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if something like that happens at Dega, they do that.
Yeah. Now, what if you had it vice versa? What if you had Xfinity Series only drivers broadcasting the NASCAR race, the Cup race?
They probably do a better job than some of the calls that are made. Well, look at that bright and yellow car, that blue car, that green car, that multicolored car.
We're hitting on a prior Ryan's rant with that one.
Yes, we are. No, that's not my rant this week.
Yeah. Moving on to the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series at Richmond. Mr. 3 in a row, Kyle Busch, second driver this year to go 3 in a row, following Kevin Harvick on his 3-race winning streak that dated back from Atlanta to what was it, Auto Club? Yeah,
Auto Club. And yeah, it stopped at Auto Club because that's when Truex won.
Okay, so
it was Vegas, Phoenix, and Atlanta.
Phoenix, Vegas, yep, Atlanta.
Yep. I went in reverse order, but I still got the correct order. Woo-hoo.
Now, he didn't have the best car by any means in this race.
No, he didn't.
And
Logano had a great car.
The craziest stat I found on it, before this race, Kyle Busch had never won a race from 30th or worse.
He started 32nd.
He started 32nd. And by lap 15, I think he was in the top 15.
Mm-hmm.
He moved through that field quicker than I've ever seen anybody do it at a short track.
And especially a place where, you got multiple groups, so it's harder to pass there at Richmond, but he made it look easy.
It for sure he did. And it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Truex losing the race in the pits. A terribly slow stop by the 78 on the final pit stop for the NASCAR overtime.
Wasn't it the jack? I think the jack wasn't jacked up all the way on the left side of the car, driver's side of the car. Guy had to jack it again, and I'm like, oh, that guy lost his job.
Hopefully not.
yeah, hopefully not. But with, it's still early in the season. If it was playoff time and that happened, then Jeff just sent a text message out, which you're going to read and get a laugh out of.
Yeah.
But, like I said, pit stops, they can be won or lose a race on pit road. Case in point, Saturday night.
Patrick was just saying in our chat, the Jack had issues with that during that last stop, and eventually more air gun problems, or evidently more air gun problems.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was going to say, I wasn't sure if it was a pit gun or not, but here we go, another week with the pit gun being a problem. They also threw a strange penalty And my stupidity for not writing down who it was. Something about throwing equipment over the wall.
Really? Was that early in the race, or was that midway?
In the race.
All right, because Sarah and I, we were out. Where did we go Saturday? I'm trying to think.
And
I think she's sleeping right now.
Help us out if you can remember that. It was one of the weird penalties. He threw it too far over the wall, or all I know is they were on the right side of the car, threw a piece of equipment, whether it be, a wrench, air gun, whatever, threw it over the wall, got a penalty for it.
That's crazy how they would do that.
Yeah, it's one of those weird ones that you don't normally see.
Yeah, because like I said Saturday, I forgot where we were at Saturday. Oh, yeah, I know where we went to. We went to the Ryan Blaney sponsored Menards.
Oh, did you?
I'm not going to tell you how long we spent in there, but we spent...
Well, you got the new house now, so you got to get it all prettied up.
Yeah, we do. Sarah's holding up the number 3. 3 hours at Menards on Saturday.
Well...
We went there, and then we went to Taco Bell for lunch. And then a few hours later, Amy, Jeff's wife, she messaged us if we wanted to go to Leo's Coney Island. They do character nights, and they had Peppa the Pig there. And this costume scared the hell out of me. I'll have Sarah forward me the picture, and I'll forward it to you guys, AJ, or we can post it on the Twitter page. And then we went grocery shopping, and oh my God, Sarah's got it out right now. This thing. Here, let me see your phone, hon. All right, since we're doing a live show, this is the Peppa the Pig. I don't know how well you can see that.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of a glare, but you can kind of see it.
All right, yeah, all right. Well, send it to my page, hon, and then and then as soon as I post on the Twitter page, Amy's, and then we went to the grocery store, and I'm listening to it because I thought the race started originally at 7:30, but I guess it started earlier than that, like 7. Yeah, so I missed a little bit. Yeah, and I seen that Byron was running well on the radio, heard it, and we went to the grocery store. Then that's when that penalty happened, so we missed it.
Yeah, this race this weekend, we were talking about how Truex had the more dominant car.
Jeff just said it was Harvick.
It was Harvick. Okay, so it was Harvick. So Joey Logano, Clint Bowyer, Kurt Busch all had fantastic cars this weekend.
They all did. Yes, they did.
And it should have been Joey's race to win, and it should have been Truex's race to win. They both lose it late. Kyle comes around the final restart, beats a great aggressive move from the 9 car off the restart, takes it home. All she wrote. Three-peat for Kyle. I think Kyle's going to start going on that Dale Jr. download more often if it means he's going to win that weekend.
Oh, I think he is too. He might go on that every week. People are going to be tweeting out we don't want him on your page no more, Dale. Although I forgot to mention it. I did listen to it. The NBCSN showed it. Obviously edited on the custom and everything like that. But that was cool to watch right there. Very cool. The beer and donuts.
The beer and donuts. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He was saying during that the cashier at the gas station was looking at him funny for buying Budweiser at 8 in the morning.
Yep. Hey, if it's for sale, might as well purchase it.
Yep. Hey, you know what my response is? I already know it's going to be one of these days.
Oh yeah.
So, like we were saying, lost all my words there. Joey Logano, Clint Bowyer, Kurt Busch all had great cars. All were in the mix there for a potential win. This was a good day for Hendrick.
Yeah, it was. Minus Bowman.
Yeah. But, I mean, Bowman's been one of the better ones on a consistent basis this year. So,
he's due to have a bad race.
Exactly. He's due to have a bad one. Maybe you're finally starting to see Hendrick turn that curve a little bit or get over the hump, so to speak.
And here's a track they do good at, too, as a whole organization, Talladega.
And it was also another race, like we were stating earlier, it wasn't for the fans of Rex. I think the big
That's this weekend.
That is this weekend. I mean, the real big incident to me, in my opinion, I mean, you had the Stenhouse one, but the Ryan Newman wreck there towards the end was really the biggest significant one. But, Ryan, we had a little bit of a different kind of issue between teammates.
Yeah, let's dive into that right there, because I haven't seen anything on social media about why McMurray was mad at Larson. Have you seen anything about it?
I have seen nothing about it.
Okay, I think right there, that's a in-house issue right there. Basically, Chip Ganassi saying, "Hey, if you guys don't knock it off, one of you is gone." And guess what? It ain't going to be Kyle Larson that's going anywhere.
You know, I was listening to the Radioactive that they do on Race Hub every Wednesday.
I love that show. Tuesday.
And Jamie Mack comes on the radio and says he's got a problem with the car and he can't control it. I don't know. To me, it looks like he's purposely going up there to knock Larson into the wall. But
I think so, too.
That's just me. You don't have.
You can tell.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. You can tell when a guy is going after somebody. Case in point, Carl Edwards, Brad Keselowski at Atlanta. When you see Edwards' white gloves go into the red Dodge Keselowski and flip them at Atlanta, you know when somebody goes after somebody.
That was a dangerous one.
Yes, it was. And that's why Edwards was called right into the hauler to park the car. Excuse me, after that happened.
I want to cut in here on this NASCAR talk real quick because I'm
ahead.
Every so often looking up towards the screen towards the draft.
Yep.
Cleveland is still on the clock with their first pick. This draft's...
Hey, honey.
This draft.
Can you turn 212 or 11 to 11? Go ahead. Sorry.
This draft started at 8. There, I got it out.
There it goes.
And you've had the number 1 pick since the last game of last season, and you still can't get the pick out? Come on.
I think somebody's calling in for a trade. I'm telling you, I think New England's trading.
They will not trade for the number 1 pick, Ryan. That will not happen. Like back to the NASCAR talk.
Yep.
It's weird because you don't see McMurray as that kind of driver, especially with someone who's in his own team.
Especially your own team.
You know,
I know if that happened at any other organization, whether it be Hendrick.
Well, it did happen to Hendrick once.
Gordon and Johnson got into it, and then Gordon's like, the 48's starting to piss me off. I don't remember that, but guess what? As a professional team, Hendrick set them boys down and be like, "Hey, relax.
RELAX.
That's right. If somebody said that, I don't know who.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I'm just trying not to remember that, but
your stage winners of this race: Joey Logano, first stage.
Joey
Logano, second stage, and your race winner was Kyle Busch. Your top 5: Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, and Kevin Harvick. Your standings after Richmond, and there is number 16. I'm pretty surprised and happy to see. You have Kyle Busch, Chase. Whoa! I was reading the top 5 again. Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., Ryan Blaney, Kurt Busch, Kyle Larson, Eric Almirola, Eric Jones, Alex Bowman, Austin Dillon, Jimmy Johnson, and rounding out the top 16, William Byron.
That's right.
And Ryan, I will cue you up on the Danica William Byron talk.
Eat it. Short and sweet this week. He was in the top 5. I think he had a penalty on pit road, if I was not mistaken. And you know, where did he end up finishing? And I mean, it was top 10. I thought
it was top
15.
William Byron, actually, he was top 15. He finished 12th.
That's right. I knew he was up there. I mean, he had a strong car. He was up there, top 5. Because we were getting into the gas or the grocery store, and they're like, William Byron, top 5. And Sarah's like, I'm like, hell yeah. Sarah's like, what? I'm like, Byron's in the top 5.
You know, for some reason, I'm looking back at my show sheet.
Yep, picks in.
Yeah, I just saw that it picks in. I didn't do any notable finishers.
No, you didn't.
So, going through this list, you had William Byron 12th. You had Matt DiBenedetto finishing 16th. you had Ricky Stenhouse Jr. finishing 23rd, Bubba Wallace 25th, and down towards the back, 37th was Ryan Newman. That's where he eventually finished. They're showing a lot of Baker Mayfield highlights on the screen, Ryan. Is that who they
I don't know. We'll find out. Oh, they're comparing him to Brett Favre. Great person to be compared to.
I would not compare him to that. He is not proven yet. But they're all speculating that it's him, I guess.
Yeah, they're speculating. The Browns themselves, I guess, haven't come out. If I'm them, like I said, I'd take Barkley. Like I said, let Kaiser see what he can do. If Kaiser's not the answer, go out in free agency.
That's true. So
by the way, go ahead. You know how the draft was in Philly last year?
Yep.
You know who won the Super Bowl last year?
Oh, don't you start this. Continuing on. Next race, Sunday, Talladega, 2 p.m. Eastern on Fox. I am not letting you say that statement. That will not happen this year.
No, because it's in Dallas this year.
Dallas
people are
will
thinking
not
that.
Win
Oh, no, Dallas ain't going to win.
Oh, I hope
Dallas probably good.
I don't.
Are they booing him?
We keep cutting in on the NFL draft here. I hope to God they're booing Roger Goodell right now. And that's all I'm going to say on that.
Baker made. Oh, they took him number 1.
And all Browns fans look pissed.
Yes, they do.
Wow. So Baker Mayfield, the number 1 pick in this draft.
Oh, this guy's taking his Browns jersey off right now. He's got it. Oh, never mind. He's got it. I thought he was going to burn it. Oh, man. Only on live TV. Oh, there's people
celebrating, but...
And by the way, I'm calling it right now. I was a diehard Baker Mayfield fan in college. I love the kid. Why the Browns?
Poor kid. He just had his
before
it even started.
Yep.
All right,
man.
Ryan, this is where we're going to get into some fun here. It's time for Tire Rub.
Yep.
Let's get into it.
And I'm doing my rant right here in Tire Rub.
Left side. Pull this left rear fender out, left side.
All right, so I'm going to get to the big news last here. I want to hit on 2 bullet points.
Oh, man, we're waiting.
NASCAR is considering a composite body change for Cup cars at short tracks next year, which this rule probably won't take place till 2020, but they're talking about implementing it next year. And Colt Custer making his Cup debut this weekend at Talladega. I know we talked about it a couple weeks ago, but...
He ran at, what was it, Vegas? You know, he's been in the car. Yeah, the 50, yeah. Uh-huh. So he's coming back into the car.
Nice job, dummy.
Yeah, that happens.
Duh.
So, now let's get into the real news of the week. So we have a driver sharing deal. We're having a tandem 6-car, basically. Trevor Bayne will be driving it part of the time, and that other part of the time, it's going to be Matt Kenseth. Matt Kenseth is back. It only took one too many weeks to finally get a former Cup champion back in a race car. And it may only be for part of the time, but damn it, it's good to see him back in a car, especially a Roush Fenway car.
I'm happy he's back in a car because, like we said last year, it's a shame that he's not in a car. Glad he's going to be back at Roush. He'll probably be at one of the autograph sessions that Sarah and I like to go to. Unfortunately, I don't have any Matt stuff to have him sign, but they'll have stuff for us to sign for him. Here's my rant. Why in the hell did it take so long? Well, how many races are we in right now? 8, 9?
This was race number 9.
Why in the hell did you wait 9 races into the year? It's going to be 11 races when he finally gets back into the car for him to come back. My rant this week is on driver sharing. I understand funds are tight right now in the sport, especially with all these multi-tier teams. I don't understand it. Like I said, I'm happy he's back. I hate the fact that they're sharing a ride. I understand why they're sharing the ride. Like I said, Roush hasn't been, other than Talladega, Daytona, and Stenhouse at Bristol. They haven't done anything. And by the way, they showed my favorite Baker Mayfield moment when he stuck the OU flag in the middle of that stupid O in Ohio State.
OU or OH?
And nope. And then, like I said, I just
piss off Ohio State fans when I say that. OU. I mean,
but no, like I said, it's just. I get why Roush did it. They haven't been competitive in a while. And I know Matt's going to help a lot out with the car. What's going on with the car, the handling of the car more. And I think that Jack is tired of Trevor Bayne, to be honest with you.
I told you how I felt about Trevor Bayne, and they actually just showed my favorite Baker Mayfield moment when he walks in the Rose Bowl with the Pretender sign, and then Georgia proceeds to beat him in double overtime. Go Dogs.
Oh, number 2. Go ahead.
So, I told you, Trevor, Cinderella, the clock strikes midnight once. He won Daytona back in 2010, 2011, 2010.
Yep.
And that was it, man. I mean, great Xfinity driver. He was awesome in the Xfinity series.
Yeah.
But I just think he's also has, I can't think of the disease name now. Multiple sclerosis? No, it might have been MSD.
Mm-hmm.
And it was affecting him back in 2013. I don't know if that might be a reason for the driver change. But at least with Kenseth, you're having something more than just a black car every weekend. You're actually having sponsorships on it now.
Yeah, he already brought a sponsor in.
Yeah, I saw was it Wyndham Rewards?
Something like that. It's a hotel chain, I know that.
So, Patrick was just saying, Trevor's good for sponsors, became the youngest 500 winner, but hasn't amounted to much since. And that's the point I'm
exactly.
He's a great dude. Don't get me wrong. From everyone I've ever talked to that's ever met him says that he is a fantastic dude.
I've met him. I've talked to him. His wife is fun to talk to.
His wife.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because I even asked him because he was done signing everything for everybody, and I asked him. I'm like, hey, what was more nerve-wracking, winning the Daytona 500 or proposing? And he's like. He looked at her. She looked at him. She's like, go ahead, say it. And then that's when he's like, yeah, winning the 500 proposing was easy.
As he's winking at you.
Yeah, as he's winking at me. You know? But no, Trevor's a good guy. Unfortunately, the Roush cars haven't been. I remember the days where Martin, Kenseth were the two guys, and those cars were up front week in, week out. Nowadays, you're seeing Roush cars 15th. Stenhouse have a good run here, there, win 2 races, restrictor plate. And I think that's why they brought him back.
You know, my curiosity here is because Bayne actually does well on restrictor plate tracks, and Kenseth's a 2-time Daytona 500 winner. Who do you run at the plate tracks?
Exactly.
You know, that's a real issue that they need to look at this in. But, like, I think Kenseth being back in the car is going to be, like, a veteran mindset that Bayne and Stenhouse need right now. Because notice, when Roush Racing was on top of its game, it's because
like
they
I said with Martin,
core of veteran guys with the right mixture of younger guys when they were running a 4-car system. Because you had Martin and you had Kenseth, and then you had a revolving door of, like a Jamie McMurray and
Edwards, Biffle.
And you had Biffle. It was just a perfect mix. And that's what I think they're lacking now, because Stenhouse and Bayne don't have the same kind of experience that a Mark Martin or a Matt Kenseth would have. And they basically kind of from it. You have to have someone with a right mindset to grab your race notes from.
And here's my thing too. Now with Kenseth there, like you just said, they have that veteran. That's somebody to talk to. Hey, like for example, they're having problems at Kansas. A track that Kenseth won at. Hey, why is my car doing this? Why is my car doing that? That's why you have Matt Kenseth here. they asked Bane what does he feel about it. He's like, I want to be in the car every day or every weekend, and it was definitely hard for him to. Yeah, you're all right, dude. It was definitely hard for the decision. So my personal opinion, I think he's gone at the end of the year. They may even get rid of him before the end of the year.
I was going to tell you, last night you had sent out a tweet of what people thought about the whole Kenseth thing.
Yes, and our buddy William
Soki said, the Kenseth deal could be revolutionary. My thought process as an owner, sponsor as many races as possible. When not sponsored, have the best guy drive the car. This train of thought benefits Landon Castle, Carl Edwards, etc. A little earlier, and maybe Greg Biffle could have done some. Which, don't get me wrong, I miss Biffle in a car.
I do too.
You know,
I've met all the Roush guys. I've met all the Roush guys. Bane's a great guy. Edwards, when it was his final year at Roush too, and he was cool to talk to. Biffle was really to himself. Stenhouse is fun to talk to. Jack loves to talk to Sarah and I. We have the tires, which we got to find a place to put them in the house right now. Right now they're in the base. Well, we're thinking about doing something like that, have the autograph side up, and he's like, man, these are the tires from the race and everything like that. Yeah, Trevor had a good car too that day. They both had a good car that day. It's something that he loves talking to us.
Jack, you got me the autograph last year from Jack.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
The Valvoline car, of all things, which was cool. Jack seems like a really cool dude to talk to. I mean, a lot of stories, a great mindset as a car owner. They didn't make the Roush Mustang after him for nothing.
Speaking of Roush Mustangs, the museum, they have a prior open house to when they're here in June and August, and it's all Mustangs, and they're going to have the museum open. So it's going to be definitely...
I saw Sarah post something about like a homecoming event.
Yeah, I think we'll be heading to that too. So
is that when they're gonna have Martin, Kenseth, Biffle, those kind of guys there?
No, I don't know. I don't know if there's any drivers that are going to be at this. We'll have to look more in depth.
Well, the Jets.
But
let's see who they ruin.
Sam, it's going to be Darnold. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be Sam Darnold.
Yeah, they were having a lot of talks about the Jets and Darnold. They could pull something out of left field, like a Bradley Chubb.
They could do that.
But that does it on my end of the whole Kenseth deal. What do you think? Have you hit that subject enough now?
Like I said, I'm not mad that he's back. I'm glad to see him, like you said, it back home, because when he went to the that T word, he just became a DB. Honestly, he was just one of the, on the radio in general.
All right, at the time, Logano had it coming.
Yes, at the time, Logano had it coming. But the first win, Sam Darnold, and I'm ahead of you, aren't I?
Yeah, you are, because I just saw it.
Yeah, woo! Gotta love that Florida internet. Another USC quarterback for the Jets.
I don't trust USC players.
Marcus Allen.
Okay, Carson Palmer. That ends the line right there.
Yeah. Keyshawn Johnson was pretty good.
Didn't Reggie Bush go to USC too?
Yeah, Reggie Bush went to SC too, but he had a decent NFL career. But like I said, I just hate my whole issue. Like I said, is I'm just upset that they're sharing the ride.
So Patrick was just saying in our group chat, glad Kenseth's back. I'm sure he's got not much rust, if any.
Rust.
I'm trying to read it off this screen here, and it's easier if I just look at the phone.
Here, I got it. Patrick, glad Kenseth's back. Glad Kenseth is back. I'm sure he's got not much rust, if any. He'll help get Roush where they used to be in time. I have to agree with that. That's why he's back. I mean, I think Bane, like I said, I think Bane's gone at the end of the year. I think Kenseth will be in that ride all next year, and then they'll bring somebody up.
I could also see that happening.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to. What, they got Ty Majeski in their system now?
Yep, Jeske, who's got a ton of talent, I've heard.
And there's a couple other Ford guys that are in there that, you know, Ford's going to start needing some younger names here eventually.
Mm-hmm.
You know, co-cluster with Stuart Haas. But now I hear, I was hearing something the other day about Kurt Busch might be in line for an extension at Stuart Haas again. So who knows if
Which
this
is
the year.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But, I mean, that does it for me on the Kenseth side. I think it's a great move by Roush. The experience factor is going to pay off huge.
I think it's going to help Stenhouse.
Yeah, I think it is too. And maybe it helps Bane as well.
Maybe it gives Bane that motivation.
Exactly. So, we're going to move on from here, Ryan. That's it for Tire Rub. We got some social media updates to get to, so let's get into some social media.
Update.
We are up to 448 downloads on Podbean, iTunes, and Stitcher, 166 followers on Twitter, 58 likes on Facebook, 16 subscribers on YouTube. A couple new follower shoutouts this week. We have BenDog20 at BenDog202. We have HMG Sports at HMG Sports 1. Thank you guys for the follow. Our podcast shoutouts as usual, and this week we're throwing up in the first name we're going to throw out here is the PTM Racing Podcast. They're on at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, right after us. As soon as we get off, you can tune on over to them. Great show from them every week. You have the Lap Traffic Podcast, the My Opinion Therefore Fact Podcast, the All Turns No Brakes Podcast, the BNR Podcast, Right Sides Only Radio, the Motor Mouths, Incredicast, the NASCAR Opinion Podcast, and the Final Lap Weekly. Some places you can find us: Podbean, YouTube, iTunes, and Stitcher. You can just throw in your search bar. The Loose Lugs Podcast will be the first to come up. On Twitter, we are at Lugs Podcast. Don't forget, at 200 followers, we are giving away the Daytona package that is pinned to our Twitter page, if you want to check that out. On Facebook, we are the Loose Lugs Podcast. Our personals, myself, Dre Goose F-150, and Ryan.
Our Rencola 88. And AJ, I must say, too, about that Daytona 500 car, that does look mighty sharp.
Yes, sir, and it's going to look mighty sharp on somebody's mantle or shelf or whatever you decide. It's a pretty sweet deal, man. And like I said, 200 followers, we'll be giving it away. Everyone who's following the account is eligible. That means you too, Ryan.
All right.
But if you win it, I'm not giving it to you.
If I win it, it's going to be fixed.
Moving on, we have Ryan's rant. Did you have another rant, or was that your rant?
Actually, I kind of do, and it's going to go back to the hockey talk.
Well, go ahead. This is your segment to rant about whatever you may want to rant about.
I did a rant about the whole sharing rides. I still don't like it. It is what it is. You can't do anything about it. Mike Milbury. And Tony, Tony got out of it at the wrong time right now.
I know where you're going with this.
I understand he coached Boston. I understand he played for Boston. Hell, he went into the stands and tried to go after somebody. But when you're calling a game on national television, please don't show homerism. It's like Toronto never had a chance in the series when he was announcing. It was ridiculous. Anyways, 2 minutes of that. So, I mean... And Tony, I was just checking the game. Eddie Olczyk is calling the game with Doc Emmerich, not Mike Milbury.
Oh, so they have the Washington Pittsburgh series?
Yeah, they're doing the Washington Pittsburgh series, and then you'll probably get you might get Kenny Albert, who was always good.
We'll get the B side.
Hey, don't make fun of Kenny Albert.
I'm partial. I like Emmerich, man. I know you're not a fan of him. I don't mind him, but there was a goal that Boston scored, and you figured they just won the Stanley Cup, and I'm like, it's round one in the playoffs. It was not last night. It was the DeBrusco game 5 when they were down 4-3, or when they came back, something like that, and you figured they just won the cup. I love hearing Emmerich call it.
Yeah, he's a great announcer. Don't get me wrong. There's times where you get excited, overexcited. And another rant. I don't know if you've noticed this, but the lack of winners this year in the Cup cars. You've had 2 three-peats already this year. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with the car. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the competition. But what's going on, AJ? You got any answers? I mean, Harvick from Atlanta to California when Truex finally won in California, and now Kyle Busch now.
So 6 of 9 races have been won by the same driver.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to look through here to see who's got wins this year just to refresh my mind.
Austin Dillon won Daytona. Martin Truex Jr., Clint Boyer. There's your other winners.
So that's... Yeah, and Austin Dillon at 14th in the point standings after winning Daytona. That's good looks.
That's showing up great, isn't it, winning Daytona?
Good looks. But, hey, I mean... It's your usual suspects.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about as far as you can put it. It's Denzel Ward. Okay.
Hey, look, what school did he go to? See what I'm doing? Sarah's giving the thumbs down. I was giving...
I mean, OH.
No, it's OU.
So, I've got really no answer for it, Ryan. I think, last year we had how many different winners? 15 different winners?
Yeah. I don't think I think you may have, like you said, 15 different winners last year? Around there?
I don't think you're going to have that this year. It's just the trends each season that you go through. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like last year, different winners almost every week. This year, it's going to be the same dominant teams. But we're also not even halfway through the non-chase season yet. The regular season. We're not even halfway through it yet.
No, we're not.
So there's still a lot of time to go. I think once you start hitting tracks a second time, you're going to see some different winners pop up. I wouldn't worry quite yet.
No, not at all. Like I said, normally now you may have 6 or 7 different winners, and obviously not this year.
No, not this year. But
one more question for you, AJ, and then we'll go into the white flag here. Does Kyle get 4 in a row?
No. Nope. You're going to a track of Talladega. He doesn't.
Unpredictable.
Do well there. He does not ever do well at plate tracks. I would say it ends here.
Plus, he blames Goodyear when tire miraculously pops when he's leading and takes out Junior. Don't get me started on that.
But you say no because of the unpredictability of Dega?
Oh, yeah.
Huh. It's good to know. All right, let's predict Talladega, Ryan. Let's get into some white flags.
Oh, man, did I just not say unpredictable? Now we have to predict? Damn.
Here we go. White flag.
Tight, keep working the mirrors. In line with you, coming to the white. Only 2.
All right. So last week I went first on the Xfinity side. I'm going to let you go first this week on the Xfinity side. Who are you taking?
Elliott Sadler.
You son of a bitch. Damn it. All right.
I get switched up.
I'll take Justin Allgaier.
I was going to take him too, but...
I gotta keep changing my numbers every week because of you.
All right.
On the Cup side, I already said I'm taking Allgaier. On the Cup side,
to
win the race, I'm taking the number 9 of Chase Elliott. Showed a lot of promise at dual races and in the preseason at Daytona. Unfortunately, got taken out in the 500 to no fault of his own when he was making a move towards the front. I'd take the 9 this weekend.
And who's your dark horse?
My dark horse, the 10, Eric Almirola. With a track like Talladega, we were talking about the unpredictability of it. Eric Almirola always finds himself right place, right time, is half a lap away from winning the 500. And he always seems to find himself up front at the end of these races. So for me, it's an easy sleeper pick, although no pick here at Vega is easy.
Exactly. So you took the 9 of Chase Elliott. It's coming, it's due. It'll be there soon, but I am taking the 2 of Brad Keselowski.
Good pick.
Yeah, thank you. Rochester Hills, Michigan's own Brad Keselowski.
So here's the funny thing. If you go in our chat here, Patrick sided with me on the on the Xfinity
Oh,
side.
yeah. He agreed with me in the Cup car.
And he agreed with you in the Cup car.
And by the way, my dark horse, you're going to laugh at me, but David Reagan.
Hey, I mean, how many years ago was it that was him?
Him and who was his teammate at the time? David Gilliland.
That's not a bad pick
Oh,
for a dark horse. There is no bad dark horse pick when you go to Talladega. There is.
you
no
can
bad
pick Landon Castle. I mean, anybody. Danica. Oops.
Too soon.
Yeah, I know.
So, Ryan, what do you expect for Dega? I mean, this is the second plate track of the year. We saw how Daytona worked out. What do you see?
Daytona was wreck filled. Obviously, Dega's wider than Daytona. You still get the wrecks. There will be wrecks, yes, but it won't be wreck filled. I mean, I think when it comes down to the end of the stages, I think is when you're going to see it more than during the duration. I think you might see a lot of single file racing, but who knows?
I'm actually going quite the opposite on that. I think it's going to be wreck filled.
Really?
I do. I think if Daytona is any bit of an appetizer for what we're going to see this year at plate tracks, I think it's become what we know of plate racing in recent memory. The last 2 years, they've pretty much been crazy. I mean, all out.
Especially with the points. Especially with them stages.
So, I see it still being a wreck fest this weekend. Maybe when you get in the playoffs, it's not going to be as bad, although we had that Talladega race last year that was red flagged, 3 times?
Oh, under 3 red flags.
Under.
Right, yeah, under as well.
Yeah, I'd take the under on that.
But
that does it for my end on the prediction of it.
Yeah, exactly. I still think it's going to be a great race. I mean, Talladega is too unpredictable. Same with Daytona. It may be wreck fest. We may have a caution-free race. Well, minus the stages. So.
I mean, I don't see that happening.
It might.
Maybe second stage, you know. But that does it for me, Ryan. You got anything else you want to add tonight?
Nothing. Another great show. Love doing these live shows. So, I mean, I see Patrick likes listening to us. Thank you, Patrick. Tony, who was in here, and if there's anybody else out there listening, man, hope we're doing you guys proud by doing this for you. We love doing it.
Yeah, I'd like to throw a special shout out to everyone who stopped by in here tonight. Thanks, Tony, Patrick, for talking with us, and Jeff, too, who was sending us text messages.
Oh, yes.
Thanks for stopping by, listening to the show. We appreciate every bit of it. To the PTM Posse members that were here tonight, checking us out, pre-gaming with us before you check out their show. And if you haven't, make sure after we're over, you go on to their YouTube channel, check them out. They're in for a good show tonight. You'll enjoy it, I promise you. And with that being said, we're heading to Talladega, plate racing, home of the big ones. Ryan, hit him with it.
And by the way, my dad used to call it Tala. Freaking Dega. He didn't say freaking, he said the other word. But we will see you at the track. Rubbing is racing, boys.
Everyone have fun at Dega. It's going to be a wild weekend.
Duh.